Hello and welcome back to Katie's Business Tips. Michael Lapede here. In a short video, we're going to talk about how to build efficient workflow for your business. Building efficient workflow helps your business run smoother, and really that's our goal, is to our business to run as smooth as possible. We're always going to have issues, but the smoother it runs, the less issues we have. It helps your team focus on high value work and increasing productivity, which will eventually increase profitability. Here's a guide to help you build efficient workflows for your business. First of all, you need to determine where your bottleneck processes are. Where are things being slowed down? Where is the grind that is just slowing it right down? Everything's moving and then it just slows it right down and then it moves again. Look for those things in the process. Look for what ways you can, that you could find things that are going slower that you can speed it up is what we're talking about here, without sacrificing quality, of course. These processes involve tasks that are repetitive usually, involve multiple steps. Team members often cause delays, errors maybe. Examples are maybe onboarding a new client, invoicing, content creation, or approval. So find those, right? Determine what they are. And then break down the process into steps. List down the exact sequence of actions for each process. You can use a flowchart to make it easier. For example, if it's a new onboarding client, right? Send a welcome email, number 1. 2, make an introduction call. 3, send onboarding documents. 4, set up client profile in the system. And 5, assign to team members. So that's an example. And then assign clear roles and responsibilities for each team member. For each step, determine which team member is responsible, what tool to use, and deadline for the task. By creating ownership for the step, there's less duplication and confusion. So the key is we're looking, first of all, we're breaking down these areas and looking for these bottlenecks. We're writing out the process, figuring out who's responsible for what tools they're using, right? Making sure we create that ownership. And then once we're at that point, now we can eliminate unnecessary steps. And we can review that process to identify the unnecessary steps, maybe combine steps if needed, maybe have one person do 2 different steps and so forth, and find how there can be less duplication, less confusion, and ways that you can speed up the process. We're going to eliminate those unnecessary steps. And then on top of eliminating unnecessary steps, we're going to look to make sure we're using the right tools for the workflow. So look for tools that can make each process easier to follow. We're going to track things. Maybe we need a Dropbox, or maybe we need a Google Drive or a Google Workspace for file management, or maybe we need to use online documents because we're creating this Word document and we're sending it around the office or the business instead of just going to an online Google Doc and everybody uploads the same document. It's wonderful. Shared documents are wonderful that way, right? So just having the right tools can also make a difference. And then we document now that new workflow. So we update that workflow once we've made those changes, right? We set up a standard operating procedure, we call it SOP, for your workflow. We're going to write down each step, the process, the details, the tools used, the templates, and make sure it's documented with some notes because you found some things here and you want to make sure that next time you do review that process to maybe make it more efficient, you know what you reviewed and where the issues were last time. And then, of course, make sure you train your team. Training is the key. You train them to be successful. They're going to make it better. So walk through each step of the process. Explain the whys. A lot of people need to know why they're doing what they're doing. So always explain the why just in case. And don't forget to get their feedback because they might also have feedback. So get your team's feedback to make those process improvements too as well. And lastly but not least, we said this already, review and monitor regularly. Review your workflow. Identify bottlenecks, missteps, and errors every so often. Keep doing it. Update your workflow accordingly. So once a year, every so often, depending on what it is. And after you make those changes, monitor it immediately, shortly after, to make sure there's no other final tweaks you want to make to it. But again, our goal is to make things more efficient. And if you don't spend time working on your business and looking at things and you're too busy working in your business, you're going to lose a lot of productivity, which is going to lose you profitability. Thanks for being a part of our business tips. Post in the comments below and subscribe if you haven't to, and we'll see you in the next video.